everyone, welcome to our channel. This is a video that we had no plans of making, but we thought we would share our experience with a wildfire called the elk fire that has pretty much dominated our attention and all our neighbors' attention and community the last couple of weeks. When I looked at my phone, I realized I had all kinds of footage from maybe sharing on Patreon or sharing with families, and we thought, well, why don't we just put that footage together and we'll share it with you. So here's our journey from seeing a fire that we were a little concerned with to a full evacuation of our whole farm, down to every last chicken, up to the horses. There's so many fires popping up, and this one is called the elk fire, and it's over around Dry Fork, I believe. But I'm just at my mailbox now, and that's what it looks like. So the fire started on a Friday, September 27th, and it's now determined by the investigator specialist that they believe it started by a lightning strike. And it was big enough that it concerned me enough that I canceled a trip the next day, Saturday the 28th, where I was going to go over the mountain to another alpaca farm and buy a bunch more alpaca fiber. In addition to these 25 alpacas, we make so many alpaca dryer balls that we actually buy more local fiber when our alpaca fiber sells out. Alright, hi guys. Come on out, guys. Come on in, come on out. It looks like the elk fire is back at it. Yesterday we could hardly see any smoke, but then this morning we smelled it, and here it is on our way driving home from church. It looks like it must be expanding again. So far we're okay in Parkman. Hopefully everybody's being safe out there and they're getting a hold of this little monster. The fire kept growing. And it was Sunday the 29th when things got serious for us. Let's go down the house. Come on, puppies. To show you something. The wind just stopped. One thing about the personality of this fire, if that is a thing, is it seemed to rage at night, like 2 a.m. It was at nighttime when a big ball of fire, I call it the ball of fire, the wall of fire, was literally looking like it was coming over our hill. You could just see the orange coming, and it ran up to the top of the hill, and I could see it had already been in Parkman, and we are in the Parkman area too, but it was hitting that end of Parkman, and later found out that it was burning up past Creek. This hill, the way our property is, we have a view of the Bighorn Mountains, a beautiful view. Right now it's a little smoky. The smoke comes and goes. It depends on the wind, because it's still smoldering out there and the fire is still raging that way, so it really depends on each moment if you're gonna be smoked out or not. I think I ran up and down this hill, I don't know, dozens of times over the next couple of weeks just to get a look for myself to really see. We also used an app called Watch Duty, which told us every time the wind direction changed, it would tell us that, and it would also update on the acreage of the fire and how far it was traveling. So that night that we call the wall of fire, the wind was coming right at us, and we later found out it was about 500 acres, and that was very concerning. And then the wind shifted and started going along the mountain face to Dayton. wind was making it much worse. The experts that have dealt with this fire, everyone I heard talk about the fire that has been in the fire business for decades, says this is some of the most unprecedented conditions, with the low humidity, with the dryness, with the heavy winds, and the time of year. Here's just a couple pictures that I snapped on the way up the hill on that Sunday night, which would have been September 29th. By this time the next morning, the fire had traveled to Dayton, and honestly, I thought we were finished with it. But then it came back again a couple days later at us. This helicopter had just dropped some water by our place, but I didn't get it on film. We're just so thankful there was so much aircraft, helicopters, airplanes dropping water, dropping slurries. They did an amazing job. In addition to the professional firefighters, the volunteer firefighters, there were also a lot of ranchers and neighbors out there fighting the fire too. And again, on this day, I had hoped and thought we were over with our immediate danger in the fire, but I was very wrong. But thank you, seriously, so much for what you guys do. Hey everyone, I just wanted to update you on the elk fire. We're really hoping for a quiet night. The wind is in our favor. It's going away from us. So, yeah, thank you for the prayers. And as you can see, it doesn't look so monstrous tonight, and we hope it stays that way. So again, characteristic of this fire, it raged again at night around 2 a.m. and we got notified by the local emergency system that we had moved up to level 1 and to be ready to evacuate. And the next day, people were evacuating where we live, their horses, their livestock out, and that's when I started thinking I need to plan our evacuation too. So the weekend was starting, and the experts knew by the way the weather pattern, what was going to happen, that we were going to be in a big red flag warning that next day. So that's when I started planning the evacuation, and I cannot tell you how amazing this community of friends have been around us through this whole thing. It's just brought everyone together so much, and we did have offers to be at different places. Thank you, Linda, out in Claremont. We decided that was a little bit farther to go, since Robin, my good friend Robin, and her husband George said they would host us, and they were just down in Sheridan. So we decided to accept their gracious offer, and we started moving our crew to Sheridan. We've started our evacuation. We have the chickens and ducks on board back there, and we have Chris and Joey here. And our plan is to come back and get the horses and alpacas with trailers. We have our flatbed with corrals, and as of now, the plan is that Maria will stay in Sheridan and I will stay with the Guardians here, and that's our plan as of now. But the reason is the Guardians are quite a machine together. And I don't want to lose one, and we're taking them close to the city there, and we're thinking if I could just stay here, and if we get a level 3 go, I'll just put them in the truck and go. That's our plan for now. So we don't have footage of loading the alpacas or loading the horses because we weren't planning on making a video, and it was serious. We had planned to get out that night, all of us, the whole place. With the bigger animals, we were going to need help, which we had offers of help, and we had help moving them out. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you, Gwen. It was really hard loading the alpacas too. It took a while. They were very afraid. It was one of the worst days of my life, seeing them afraid and shipped out in 2 different trailers. As much as we were thankful to get them out, it was hard seeing them sad and stressed and not knowing what's going on. And then we moved to load the horses, and it just happened so fast, and nightfall was coming, and they just didn't want to get on the trailer. And my horses we don't practice loading, we don't go places. So Jenny, the last time she was on a trailer was when I moved here over 20 years ago. And Mariah, her daughter, was born here, so she had never been on a trailer. Maggie had come on a trailer over 20 years ago. And Lexi had been on a trailer once, and that's when she was captured as a wild horse. Well, when she was captured, but then when she came here, she was a wild horse when she got off the trailer. So it was also a lot for them to expect that they would just hop on a trailer. But then that night was the red flag night, and I stayed home with the horses and Maggie. At the very worst, they would have to cut a fence, and that's what I was going to do. I wasn't going to leave them. And the dogs stayed with me. I decided they would just stay with me and the macaws the whole time. When I left, this unit would go. The night when it was just me, the guardians, and the macaws, the guardians were, you could tell, noticeably sad, a little confused that there was nothing to guard here. It was a very solemn night. But by the next morning, thank you, Chris and Mary, they showed up real early. I heard that they were helping people get out, and the horses loaded. I don't know, under an hour. I had to work with them a little bit, and we got them out. So when the horses got out, that was the okay that I could get out with the guardians and the macaws. And this is me driving out. My friend Lisa met me. She made me that piece of art and gave me a hug goodbye. And that was just a special moment. It was really nice. It was a great moment knowing my family was all going to be together that night. What are you doing here in Sheridan? Hi, guys. I'm going to bring the guardians. Tacoma. Tacoma. What's going on, guys? And there's the fire, but now it's very far away. Hey, guys. What are you doing here? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to get that off you, Jenny. I'm going to get that off you, and Maggie and Mariah. Robin and George, we think you're angels in disguise. We're just so thankful that you just let us take over your place, and you're so kind about it, and we felt so comfortable. We didn't get one bonus. This is our new home for a while. We're camping. We have the guardians here. And here is our tree fencing that we're not using anymore because the trees are growing, so some need other fencing. But Barnabas took over my tent. I got Esther and Tacoma's over there by the good smelling hay. And we got Ruthie and David's. They're just like so chilling out. And Saul and Sam and Goliath out there. Yeah, this is like really nice. I'm so glad to be here. May turn off my phone tonight. No more alerts. Whew. You don't have to worry about fire tonight. The whole family is together. felt so good that we could all be together and I could watch everyone. I stayed outside there with them, and I stayed one night and Maria stayed a total of 2 nights. Our animals stayed maybe a total of 3 nights. Well, with the final getting of the horses. And here we are, we're on our way back already. You got Joe in there?
Yep. Let's go.
All right, guys, you're going home. Mark, you're so tall. Okay, you're going home. Okay, they're all loaded up. Let's go. All right, so we have room for 1 alpaca back with the birds, and I have a halter and my leash, my lead, and I'm going to pick Labriska because she is asking to go every time, and she is attached very tightly to us and the guardians. So I don't think she'll be sad being alone for a very short amount of time at home without alpacas as we plan how to get more. So I'm just going to call her Labriska. I think she's going to come. There she goes, right when I said her name. Come on, you're coming with me. You want to go home? You want to go home? Step up, Labriska. You'll be first. She knows. They all know their names. And, all right, I'm going to put a collar on. You ready? Come on. Oh, your sister is saying goodbye. You'll be coming too. But not yet. And she's been asking the most, so let's go. Yay! So we have 2 more stowaways with Labriska. We have the Pinto boys on their way home. It's a little bit tight, but we're gonna make it work. This is a really special moment coming in, and I muted this part because the song Josh Baldwin's Made for More was playing as we came in, and it's also the exact song that was playing as I went out with the Guardians that night. So that song will always be special to me, but we didn't want to get into any copyright issues. Puppies, the chickens are home. The chickens are home. Go see them. Go see. Come on, go see. Come on, Sim. Come and go see the chickens. They're home. Did you see the chickens at home?
You want to see them?
They're yours, aren't they? Those are your chickens. Wow. She's saying goodbye. Yeah, that's Lorraine. Took 2 trips getting the alpacas home. Thanks to Jack Metler's trailer. Thanks to Rich Garrison for driving it. And we followed behind, and we always had a few, 2 or 3 in our truck also. And there's the fire on the way home at our place. It's not near the threat it was, but it is still out there. The 3 boys are playing, the little babies. We got almost everyone home, and as you can see, this is our empty spot. We'll get our babies home, and then we'll put the corral up, but for the first night we'll just shut this. It's a little bit short, but we makeshifted that. That's not important. Get them home, doesn't matter if they're even in the corral. And we used this time, Maria actually did this, to shovel out this section, and we're still doing a little more shoveling. So today's the big day, and as you can see, it's very smoky. So we evacuated 3 horses, a donkey, 25 alpacas, 8 guardian dogs, 16 chickens, 7 ducks, 2 geese, 2 macaws, and 4 cats. And they all made it back. Nobody got injured and nobody got lost. Right, Timothy? So one thing reflecting back on this whole experience is we always need to have enough alpaca halters. 25, so I'm gonna order some more. These are alpaca halters, and we had about 10, but it would have been helpful to have more for the loading in and out. And I had this, I always carry ropes in my truck, so I made like, what, a dozen of these, which made up for the halters I didn't have. I should have known because I used to sell halters that I would spin for goats, and it worked just fine for alpacas. Basically, I just cut a long rope. I do not know how long it is, and I tied a knot, and I'll show you how I put it on. We'll use Labrisca as an example. Put this on you. Oh, whoa! Put that around like this, around like that, and then this go. You get a kiss, hopefully not a spit, and then through that, and then I have a makeshift halter. There you go. And it was just enough that we could lead all the alpacas in with this. So if you ever need a makeshift halter, there you go. Thank you, Labrisca. You want one on too? No. Oh my goodness. So we are just so thankful. We cannot extend our gratitude enough to all the firefighters, the professional firefighters, the volunteer firefighters, the hillbilly hotshots, everybody, our community, everyone just really came together to care about each other, and we're just really thankful. And we're still keeping an eye on it, and we can't wait for more snow. And our prayers and our thoughts go out to the communities that the fire is heading south towards, which it's already gone by Sheridan and still there, Bighorn and Story. And hopefully it will stop there. I've learned so much about how they fight these fires, even though I know like that much of compared to what they know, but how they make fire lines, so when the fire, in ideal conditions, they'll start a fire so that when the big fire rolls through, it's kind of like a catcher's mitt, and they can either contain it and make a line or slow it down because the fuel is already gone. Thankful for clean air while it's here. Also just learned, or just reflecting on this time of how important lives are, because I didn't really care about material things. Of course, I'm so thankful. Thank you, Lord, that we did not lose our house, especially right before winter. But everything was about the animals and keeping them safe. And I think I packed a pair of jeans and pajamas and like our safety deposit box with important paperwork, this year's alpaca shearing, and not too much more. Yeah, material things can be replaced, but these little lives can't. And as we publish this video, it's close to 90,000 acres. They do have a lot of containment, but the fire is still growing. As the fire continues to move south, the majority of the personnel also move south with the fire, but they are keeping a presence of fire trucks and firefighters in our area too, just not as many. The aircraft has just been so impressive. There's been a lot of helicopters and air tankers dropping water, and here's one right here dropping some fire retardant, also called a slurry. And this video is courtesy of my friend Meekin Owens down there in Dayton. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.